I started as a management trainee, as I said, which was a great opportunity to go through every department in the company in the main headquarters, spend like a month or two, get to know a little bit about that department, let them know about you, and I was to do that for a year. And at the end of a year, they were going to decide if they felt I was the material they wanted to be in the business, and if I decided that I really loved the music business. Well, it took me about 5 seconds. And then I went around to Epic Records, and Epic Records was coming back into distribution within the CBS distribution. It had been independently distributed, and they were needing people. And they asked me to be a local promotion person. And I said, okay, what is that? And promotion at that time was dealing primarily with the radio and the newspapers and magazines in a local market. Or if you were a national promotion person, you would be dealing with those medium on a national basis. After I did local promotion, I got promoted to do regional promotion, and now I had 4 or 5 local promotion people that reported to me in a region, and that region happened to be the Midwest, and it was out of Chicago. And now I was doing some of the local promotion in the major markets with the major radio stations, but primarily I was backing up my local promotion people, coordinating their activities, dealing with them to make sure they had the priority records straight and that they were doing their jobs properly. Also, when they went on vacation, I would cover that marketplace, and I would coordinate regional promotional tours for artists, and I would coordinate the regional promotional contests and promotions, again, to try and exploit our artists. So it was a step up in the management game, so to speak. Now you were not only managing yourself and your time, you were managing other people and their time. And then from there, I did that for it was only about a year and a half, and I was offered an opportunity to either stay in Chicago or go to New York as a sales manager. And because the business was exploding, running a branch was a big responsibility. It was no longer good enough to take a person and make him the best salesman in the marketplace or the best promotion person in the marketplace and make him the boss, so to speak. Running a branch was a multi-million-dollar venture. In the case of some of these major markets, like Atlanta or New York or LA, you were talking about maybe $40 to $60 million in yearly billing, and a staff that would be as high as, I think I had 38 people at one point working for me in one of the branches. So in order to get that job, in order to be able to be effective in that position, you needed to be trained. You needed to understand finance and management and organization and time management. There were a lot of skills that you had to acquire or be taught. So they put you into a training program, and you became what they called a sales manager. And you worked with a branch manager for at least a year. It might be longer. In my particular case, I went from Chicago as a regional promotion man or person to New York as the sales manager. And I worked for a person that's a legend, or was a legend until he passed away in our business, called Paul Smith. Did that for about a year and a half. And that required working and coordinating, probably there were 30 people in that branch at that given time. So you coordinated all those activities. You set up local campaigns in your given marketplace for the given artist. So I was a sales manager in New York, and then I was offered the opportunity to become a branch manager. And my first assignment was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I was the branch manager. And now I was, on a small scale, the captain of my own ship. And now it was your responsibility. You ran the staff. You hired, you fired. You were responsible to a regional person out of Chicago named Don Van Gorp, who again was a great innovator in our industry and a taskmaster. But every day, day in and day out, I was on my own. And you had numbers to make, and you had requirements, and you had to fulfill the obligations that the corporation put on you.